All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to get you started and maybe even go all the way through each one of these questions with you. And then stop. Like if you're going through and you're like, I think I got it, then pause me and see if you can finish it out. All right, so start at 45. And so 45 says 6 plus v over negative 8 equals 4/7. All right, in this one I see that there's two fractions and I don't want the fractions. So I am going to try to clear them out. The way I clear them out is by looking at these two numbers on the bottom and I find a common denominator. So negative 8 and 7, I'm just going to multiply them together and get negative 56. So what I will do, I will multiply every single thing through by negative 56. And when I do that, then hopefully some stuff will disappear and then I will no longer have fractions and the question will not be so bad. So now I distribute this. So negative 56 times 6. You can do that on your calculator, totally fine. When I do that, I get negative 336. Plus, now I do the negative 56 here. So there's technically a 1 here. So negative 56 times 1 divided by negative 8 gives me 7 V's. Now you may have done it with a positive 56. That's totally cool. Your answer will come out the same. Then here, I multiply that in. I personally am going to say, hey, wait a second, 56 and 7 simplify to negative 8. So then 4 times negative 8 gives me negative 32. If you did 56 times 4 divided by 7, you'll get the same answer. Well, now look at this. Not so bad. Hey, it's just a little two-step equation. You can do that. Do I undo the 7 or the negative 336 first? I add 336 to both sides. Again, if you can, pause now and see if you can finish it out by yourself. There, I got 304, brought down my 7 V's, so I divide by 7, and you say, oh my word, what is this? Well, it's just an ugly fraction, but that's totally fine. You just leave your answer as 304 over 7. You don't grab your calculator and get like 43 point something, 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 something. You just leave it as an improper fraction. That's good enough. There it is. All right, 46. Let's try that one. So write it down. 2/3 C minus 18. There are several different ways to do this. When I did it with one class, we got rid of the 2/3 first, but then I thought, they're never going to think of that. So let's just, what do you see? I see distributive property. Whether it's a fraction or not, you don't have to worry about that. Let's do 2/3 times 1C. It just gives you 2/3, and that's okay. Then 2/3 times, I'll just put the minus here. So 2 times 18 is 36. 36 divided by 3. It's just 12. And over here, because I was just doing the distributive property, I can just keep my 7. Now, this is a nice little problem. This piece, the 2/3, might be a little bit concerning for you, but really it's not so bad. What do we get rid of first? Yeah, this. Again, pause if you can do it yourself and come back and check in with me. Otherwise, let's keep going. I add 12 to both sides. When I do that, I get, this simplifies out, I get 19 over here. On this side, I still have 2/3 C. How do I undo 2/3? If you don't know, put your hands out in front of you. How do you undo 2/3? Yeah, 3/2. Look it, simplifies out to 1. Over here, times 3 over 2. I can just put a 1 right here and it's all right. So C equals 19 times 3. Well, 20 times 3 is 60, so 19 times 3 must be 57 halves. And you can leave it. Now, if you wanted to divide that out, pretty sure it's 28.5, but this is good enough. All right, let's look at 47. This one I'm really, well, maybe I will. Okay. We've got 3d plus d minus 7 equals 25 fourths. This one, so just every time you're going to have to think, okay, is there a different process that I would use here? Same basic thought process, but let's do this. 25 fourths. If you had 25 quarters in your pocket, how much money would you have? You would have $6.25. So I'm going to write 6 1/4. Now, you might look at that and say, that's hard for me. It should not be if you think of it in money. Draw my line down. What can I do over here? I can put these guys together. 3 D's and a D. 4 D's. Minus 7 equals 6 1/4. And I say it 6 1/4 because quarters, you like them. Because a bunch of them can buy you stuff. So now I look over here. How do I undo this? How do I undo minus 7? I add 7. I add 7. And I go down and I've got 4D, so I rewrite the 4D. Over here, you had 6 1/4 and you add $7. Now you have 13 1/4. The problem is now we've got to divide it by 4 and this piece doesn't work. So here's what it really looks like. It looks like 13 1/4 divided by 4. So I've got to do some quick maneuvering here. I've got to turn this back into an improper. So 13 times 4 plus 1, so that's 52, 53 fourths times, keep switch flip, 1/4, which means D equals 53 over 16. So that one, it's not necessarily the process so much as the fractions that make you nervous. 48, I'll just give you a quick hint because you can use your calculator, just distribute and then solve. 49, same thing, just do a little bit of distributive and then you can solve it. The problem is this minus right here. So if I fix that, I get 8n minus 2n. Well, can you do 8n minus 2n? Of course you can. Put those two together. And then move this minus through to right here, which what does that do to the sign? Plus 3 equals 12. So I think you can do that from there without my help. Just put these together and then go through and solve. However, then I hit number 50. 50. I've got 2/3 plus n plus 6 equals 3/4. Now I see I've got two fractions. I can combine this, but because I've got two fractions, I'm going to take care of those first. So I look and I've got 3 and I've got 4. So what would be my common denominator? My good common denominator for that would be 12. So I'm going to multiply all of this stuff by 12, all of this stuff by 12. So 2/3 times 12, 12 times 2 is 24, divided by 3 is 8. Don't forget to do your 12 times this. So plus 12 n's. Don't forget to do your 12 times 6 is 72. Then over here, 12 times 3, 36 divided by 4 equals 9. Now you're at a place where it shouldn't be so bad of a problem. What can I put together over here? Yes, put those together first. So really I've got 12n plus 80 equals 9. Now you might think to yourself, this isn't going to be pretty. And that is, again, okay. So if you want to pause and try it by yourself, do that. So I subtract 80 from both sides. So over here I get a loss of 71. Drop down my 12n. How do I undo that? I divide by 12. And then when you think, this is awful. No, it's not awful, because when it's awful, you just leave it in its awfulness. And there, negative 71 over 12. Done. You don't have to grab your calculator and divide that out. You just leave it as negative 71 over 12. Number 51, because it's decimals, all you need to do is put these two together. So 0.5D minus 3D is think money. 50 cents. You spend 3, means you had to borrow some money. All right? You can do that. 52, as I look at it, not so bad. You just have to, what do you do with this negative sign? You either put it through, or some of you might see another option. But the last one, let's look at it, and I'm not going to do the whole thing with you. I'm just going to get you started. You've got 20, 15, and 15. What's going to be your common denominator? What do 20 and 15 both go into? To which I say 60. So, can you put 60 into everything over here? Put 60 into everything over here, and put 60 into everything over here. Then you'll get all whole numbers, and it'll be nice. So there's help with those first 9 questions. Make sure you're getting them done. There's 3 more that you would need to do as well, and don't shy away from those. You can do it. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.